Since I made the last video, they have taken over the internet, I forgot to mention Nicole's Collective Shout's partner in crime. They're actively targeting legal media, shutting down platforms, creators, and entire communities under the guise of protection. What makes this situation even more dangerous is that major financial payment processors like Visa, MasterCard, and PayPal are giving in to their pressure. When these payment processors cave, it creates a chilling effect across the internet. Platforms and creators end up self censoring themselves just to survive. Man, we just cannot catch a break as free, non religious people. But I got a message for these so-called women's advocacy groups, Collective Shout and Nikos. Y'all have no idea what you're actually doing. You claim to be protecting women, but in reality, you're destroying our freedoms as gamers, developers, artists, YouTubers, LGBT folk who simply just enjoy content, create freely, and make an honest living. And here's the kicker, you're not only just harming us, you're harming yourselves. You're tearing down opportunities for women developers, women artists, and women content creators. People like me, I'm a woman and I'm a lesbian, so I'm getting hit from both ends of the stick. You think you're helping, but you're really stripping away the very freedoms you claim to stand for. What you're doing isn't protection, it's censorship, and it's setting women and everyone else back decades. Y'all really think that if you censor everything, whether it's about assault, incest, CA, or non consensual themes, that these issues would just magically disappear? No, sadly, they're just the flaws of human existence. You can't erase them by pretending they don't exist. Instead of pouring your energy into censorship, maybe you should invest into mental health awareness and actually support for victims. Because the truth is, censoring content that explores these topics can actually be very harmful to survivors. A lot of those so-called not safe for work games and media are created by survivors themselves. Many of them are women. These projects aren't just entertainment, they're creative outlets. They give survivors a way to process their trauma, express their emotions, and build safe spaces for others who've gone through similar pain. But here's the ugly part. You don't actually care about helping women. It's all about control. You talk about men holding power, yet your actions give them even more power and control while silencing the voices of victims who are finally speaking out through art and media. This isn't protection, this is erasure, and it hurts the very people you claim to fight for. A very fucked up thing to do for people who claim they're protecting women, eh? And this isn't the only thing that's festering in my head. Let's talk about live action media, movies and TV shows. There are plenty of films and TV series that don't just discuss assault, incest, and CA or non consensual themes, they depict them graphically. Take Once Upon a Time in America. It has a brutal assault scene in a car. The butterfly effects include scenes of CA, Games of Thrones, incest with Jaime and Cersei Lannister, and plenty more. Outlander, my god, that show has everything you can imagine that's horrible. The whole family has been assaulted. Some of these scenes go on for hours too. And yet, did you come after these mainstream productions? No, you didn't. You're not targeting Hollywood or the billion-dollar TV franchises. You're targeting indie creators, small developers, artists, and marginalized voices who don't have the money or power to fight back. So don't tell me this is about protecting women. If it were, you'll be going after the big guys too. You're not. It's about control, not protection. Like I said in the last video, the internet has always been a free platform. a place where creative freedom thrives, where LGBT voices and free thinkers can connect, and where information flows without a government filter. And you know what? That has always been a problem for Big Brother. They can't regulate the internet the way they want, and now they're doing everything they can to do to change that. That's why I believe groups like these aren't just random advocacy organizations, they're tools put together or propped up by governments and global powers to tighten control. They use groups like collective shouts in the coast to tug on people's heartstrings, throwing out words like assault, insects, CA, or non sensual content. The goal? To make you emotional, to rile you up, to trick you into thinking you're fighting for some noble cause, when in fact it's manipulation. They're not solving these problems, they're making them worse. They brainwash people into believing censorship equals protection, when in reality, all it does is silence voices, destroy safe spaces, and erase the very survivors they claim to protect. Because they can't just come out and say it like they did back in the days of the Hays Code. They can't admit the real reason they want to erase everything is that they're a bunch of crazed, occultist, religious hypocrites who crave control. They want to force you to believe and think exactly like them because they claim to have the answers to life from some all knowing being they have never actually seen nor heard, and yet they'll bend over backwards trying to convince you he's real. And here's another thing that some people are just not talking about enough. Collective Shout is one of the loudest voices in this crusade. Is based in Australia. How the hell does Australian jurisdiction get to dictate American jurisdiction or even global jurisdiction? Why should people in Sweden, Japan, Canada, or the Netherlands be forced to live under the rules of an Australian activist group? Now, I know I'm not no lawyer. I know I'm kind of a layman when it comes to this fine print of legal stuff, but they're probably exploiting some kind of loophole, especially since Visa, MasterCard, and PayPal operate worldwide. But here's the thing, just because these companies are global doesn't mean activist groups from one country should be able to encroach on everyone's freedoms. That further kind of proves my theory that this is really just Big Brother behind this. Y'all should really read 1984. Besides the legal encroachment and the fake women's advocacy, they keep tossing around slogans like men are gross and just want to see nude content. Seriously, what world do they live in? They act like women don't have sensual desires, like we're some blank slate with no sexuality. Newsflash, women have entire sex organs that produce hormones, and in fact, we got more nerve endings in our genitalia than men. To pretend that women don't enjoy or seek out adult content is not only ignorant, it's insulting. Let's be real, plenty of women indulge in risque and not safe for work content. If that wasn't the case, there wouldn't be cosplayers bringing these characters to life. Women enjoy this content, and we should. We're adults. We deserve the freedom to engage with legal adult content without being shamed or censored. So once again, it all circles back to hypocrisy. For a group that claims to fight for women, they sure sound like the same misogynistic men from the past, trying to tell women what they can and cannot do with their own sexuality. Characters like Eve, Bayonetta, 2B, Ada Wong, and so many others give women strong representations of being secure in their bodies and with their sexuality. They help normalize feminine sexuality instead of shaming it. And it's not just female characters. Women have been very vocal about loving male characters too. Just ask any heterosexual woman about Cloud or Zack from Final Fantasy and watch them lose their minds. On top of that, women indulge in Yahwi, a Japanese art form focused on romance between two men. And here's the kicker, the main audience isn't even gay men, it's women. There are entire book clubs dedicated to it. And Yahwi can get pretty wild, just look at killing stalking. So don't tell me that women don't want this content. Women clearly do, and women have been enjoying it, creating it, and building communities around it for decades. And what about lesbians and bisexual women? Women who are attracted to other women? Are we just gross perverts because we enjoy seeing women's bodies? Y'all didn't think about that one, huh? Yes, we also enjoy and appreciate women's bodies. We want to see them, and guess what? There are plenty of women who play these games, myself included. I even did a review on Dead or Alive Extreme Volleyball in my Strange Obscure Games video, and it's a really innocent game. But its reputation and the reputation of the whole series got trash. Why? Because of people like collectiveshout who smeared it just because of how the women look. Censoring games or anime doesn't protect anyone, it hurts women, those especially exploring their sexuality and identity. Take Zena, Warrior Princess. I'm a huge fan of that show. If you follow me on Tumblr, you already know. It was and still is incredibly popular because it dared to explore a relationship between two women, and yeah, it got very hot at times. But here's the important part: Zena fought against censorship and carved out a safe space for queer women at a time when we had almost nothing. It gave representation, validation, and comfort to countless women discovering who they were. And that's why this new wave of censorship is so dangerous. You shut down content like this, you're not protecting women, you're erasing them. So, in closing, groups like Collective Shout and the Coast aren't really women advocacy groups. They're hypocritical, obsessive Puritans who uphold the very things they claim to fight against. I know I've gone off on a bit of a rant here, but it was needed to be said because this situation is serious and is affecting our livelihoods as grown ass people on the internet and in the world. So thank you if you made it to the end of the video. I gladly appreciate it. And if you have any thoughts, opinions, or additional information about this whole situation, feel free to share them in the comment section below. I love to hear your insights. Don't forget to like the video if you found it interesting, and consider subscribing for more content like this. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.